What's going on, guys? White Horse here, going to be giving you guys Mr. My Witness's YCS Orlando top 64 deck profile tonight. Before we get into the deck profile, Mike, is there any shout outs or anything you want to say before we get into it?
Yeah, I got shout out.
We got a list. All right, go ahead.
First one, big one, shout out to the collection. That's my team.
Yes, sir.
All of them, couldn't do it without every single one of y'all.
Appreciate
Hobby
it.
Hub, that's our sponsor. We got Hobby Hub, TCG Rewind.
TCG Rewind, yes, sir.
Shouts to Treston over there. Shouts to him for bringing me food after the round. I wasn't gonna give him a shout out because he unnecessarily woke up.
That's Treston right there.
He woke me up unnecessarily on Friday, so I was not gonna give him a shout out. But he brought me food after I dropped. So
a true friend.
Shouts to Cody for the place, for the Airbnb.
Cody Chilled right there, or Cody Ryzeal.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I want to shout out Mr. Tyler Stokely for bumping my. I had 2 secret rare Jerusalem and a super, and he bumped my last one to a secret. So I really appreciate that. That was very important.
Yes, sir.
I want to shout out Joel and Rico for like just talking to me about the deck and just basically being on call at all times for me to like text ideas about the deck and just to respond with ideas about the deck. And then also Josh Doyle for playtesting with me for probably about like it was like probably like 5 or 6 hours on the Friday before. I appreciate that.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it though.
Yeah, he
paid off.
Yeah, I played Fiendsmith with Ryzeal. He had a lot of Bestials in his deck, so it was like really good testing. And then we're moving up to the S tier shoutouts. First of all, shoutouts Logan, my here. Man. I can't do anything without Logan. Logan for driving us. Anytime I'm at an event, it's because Logan drove me there. Okay,
perfect.
That's the reason why. And then the last most important shout out, it goes to my mom.
Yes, sir.
For the shoes. Look at that. Yeah. I got so many compliments on the shoes. So
right.
we never got on feature match, but it would have said Diviner of the Herald's favorite card. So anyway, we'll get into it. Sorry.
All right, go ahead, boss.
Okay. So I play Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Every other deck is just like completely unplayable in my opinion. I think the Mitsu deck and the Malice deck are like the closest. But Fiendsmith Ryzeal is just the only deck that can play 22 non-engine, so it's just the only one.
Right.
And it just won the YCS, so that's my evidence for it. I got 3 ice, 3 X, 2 sword. I didn't want to have too many Ryzeal names in my deck that weren't ice, so I knew I wanted to play like less of these. And I think a lot of people, or some people, were playing like 3 sword and 2 X. But I really like 3X because this deck kind of has like a normal summon problem. And X is like the best special summon extender in your deck, even though it locks you into 4s. Like even going second too, like if you nib them or Druid Swarm them, you just normal summon a hand trap and make Requiem, and either they ash it or they don't ash it, and you get Lacrum, and then you can just special X, and it's the best extender in your deck.
Gotcha.
Even though it ranks, so yeah, I would I really like that.
Any node?
Node's here. Here's
node,
node.
One node?
Definitely
right.
node.
Gotcha.
I tried to build without node and cross, and it was really bad. So
kind of need them.
Yeah, I was playtesting with Matt, and he played it for like 2 games, and he was like, this sucks,
I hated those cards, bro.
He was like, this sucks.
Bro, I did, bro. Kept drawing them, man.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? What we got?
I got the 3 engraver, Lurie, Lacrum.
Yeah.
Also, this is not my deck. Shouts to Logan again for letting me use his deck. We played the same list. His deck is way nicer looking than my deck, but yeah, 3 of these. That's very standard. 3 bonfire, 2 track. That's standard. And then cross and the 1. This was Paradise. And then we'll play in all the non-engine in order of brokenness. Fualas is definitely just the most broken hand trap. Just when you flawless someone on ice, just it feels like the game just immediately ends.
Feels good.
And then when you get flawless on ice, it's just vice versa. The card of my deck for sure. I convinced a lot of my friends to play it.
Yeah, this card was crazy.
Yeah, shouts to Joel for I was gonna it all started where I was talking about we were talking about Foolish or Burial from the Different Dimensions that Santoli played in his list, in his Ryzeal list for Malice. And I was like, well, now that they're making Griffin, isn't just Forbidden Chalice just better? Because you can negate Griffin or White Binder. You have like the option between the 2. And I pitched it to Joel, and Joel's like, well, why aren't we just playing Metal Tronus? Because that just like banishes Danner, outs Twins. You get Summon Fiendsmith cards from your deck, and it just does the same thing, except it's insane. So I sided it for the Mobile Regional, and it was just so insane, I just put it in my main deck. So I mained it today, and it was really strong. I played like 7 Fiendsmith Ryzeal, and I feel like every time I drew it, I just was so heavily advantaged. 3 Druisworm, 1 Magnamute, and then 2 Imperm. We were originally going back and forth between like 2 Druisworm and Magnamute and 3 Imperm, or just playing 43 and just having Imperms. But Imperm kind of conflicts with the Bestials, so we were just fine to play it at 2. This maybe should be something else. Joel played a very similar list, and he played Bell in this slot, and Bell was really good in testing, so maybe it should have just been Bell. But it was fine for me. It didn't conflict that badly this event. 3 Ash, obviously, 3 Imperms. Mr. Stenson's beautiful nibs.
Ultis, he's got the ultis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, the one normal one. These are crazy. I haven't seen these until he showed me them. And then the one Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is like really good in the main deck. Just because you always just play like just like a grind game.
Yeah.
And it's just like the best card to just beat hand traps in the grind game. And then Flawless is just so oppressive. So just having another card.
Yeah, having out to it, yeah.
And it's even fine against Malice, because like if they go like affect someone White Binder, you can like just banish it from the grain. So it's not the worst.
And main deck count?
I was 43.
43?
We tried to get it down to 43 because that was the number I was very happy with. So.
Gotcha. All right, for the extra deck.
Yeah. The extra deck is a little bit tight, but got 2 Detonator for the Ryzeal stuff. We got 2 Detonator, Duo, Eclipse, Dweller, and Aggregator. There is that, and then for the Fiendsmith stuff, we have 2 Requiem, 2 Sequence, Agnum Day, Moon, the 2 Fusions, and then Chaos Angel and Caesar. So there's 2 things. There's no SP, there's no Typhon, there's no Exciton Knight. I think we were debating. It was like kind of like a last minute decision. And Joel actually did end up playing Exciton Knight. He said it didn't matter for him, but I felt like I made Dweller. I felt like when you have to play a pure Ryzeal game, just having both answers to like either their Fiendsmith engine or their Detonator is just like really strong. So having both of these for going second when you have to play Ryzeal is like the only way, because like you have to play into Nib a little bit, but you have to be able to have an answer for all their other cards as well. So and that's the thing is like this was mandatory, and this card's like ban worthy. It's like a crazy floodgate, and it has been for years. So I don't feel like that's like the biggest weirdest thing. But the thing that I think was like probably very mandatory for my list is I played the 2 Requiem and Agnum Day. Originally Agnum Day was like a decision for the Mitsu deck, because if they drew like 2 board breakers, it was like really hard to win. And so if you draw Ice Engraver, it gives you Desiree and Caesar and Detonator. So it gives you like the best chance to play into like Thrust and Talents and things like that. But there were a lot of games where I just went for game and just had game and ended a grind game that would have been very, very close if I just didn't have Agnum Day. So this card is very mandatory in my opinion. And then the 2 Requiem, I was like convinced pretty quickly on this. It's just like if they have a Bestial that isn't Magnamute, which is like most of them, you just lose your Fiendsmith engine forever. So, but if you have 2, you can like they can banish anything else. You can just do like the other half of it. So like if they banish Desiree or Sequence, you can just make Chaos Angel or Caesar. So, but if they banish this is the only thing that cuts off all of it. Mm-hmm. So just having 2 of this was just so important. I was like instantly convinced. It came up multiple times in the event. I definitely think it was the best thing about my deck. I would play 2 in this deck forever. So.
All right. And side deck?
Oh yeah, side deck. I played. There's 1 Duster. This is part of the side out Magnamute squad. And also side out Call by the Grave. That came up a lot. Going second, I usually side this in for Call by the Grave, just because a lot of Fiendsmith Ryzeal, it's usually like trades pretty well. They usually have like a strike, an imperm, maybe a cross out, or like it always trades with cross too. So it's always like a good trade into like breaking their board. And I actually kind of wish there were like more of these cards you could play, but Lightning Storm like really sucks because you like have Bestials and Nib in your deck, so it just gets turned off. But if like Heavy came back to 1 or something like that, I'd probably play it too. And then for Malice, I played 1 Meows, and then 3 Lancia, and 3 Bell. And then versus Malice, we would side out, or I would side out. I would side out these, and then the 3, then the 4 Bestials, and then this would just be my Malice side pattern, going second. I thought it was pretty good. I think Bell is obviously a little worse than Meows. I think Meows is a little underwhelming versus every other deck. But Bell really overperformed in testing. It was just like so versatile. One of the bigger things is I sided out Valor going first in the mirror for Bell. And if you have a Bestial, what you can do is you Bell their Bestial, and then you just make Caesar, and then their Bestial loses like a lot of their value. So I'm a big fan of Bell. In like the Bestial mirror match, Fiendsmith mirror matches, this card is like really strong. You can top deck it and it trades with Lacrima. I definitely think this card was like very, very clutch. And then we got 3 Perilia. We were debating between, or I was debating between Perilia and Droll. I'm still not certain I made the right call. Perilia was a little weak, but there were a couple times where it really went in. And the main thing is, it gets you like another card that could be like a better, like, because we have a lot of power cards. There's Nib, there's Metal Tronus, there's Fualos. So sometimes just getting like the chance at an extra card is still pretty good. And you drop it in draw phase, so you never play any talents or anything like that. Yeah. And sometimes they waste an Ash on it, and that's fine. But it was probably a little weak. I'm not sure I would side it again, but it was fine. And then Exciton. Exciton was in the side deck. I didn't side it in. I played like 1 Malice. I sided in and I didn't summon it. The main idea is that we sided out Dweller for it, and then versus the Mitsu deck, we side out the 1 Requiem if we don't see Bestials. So we just had just having access to it in the side deck is good, and in the mirror it probably won't come up. And it never did for me. It came up like once. It might have come up like once, but I don't remember. It was fun. I'm not sure I would side this either, but it was there for the event. And then for the last one was Solemn Strike. This is a big shout out to Joel too, because I was playing Judgment and he was like, I think Judgment should be Strike, and I was like, no, I'm scared of board breakers, Ultimate Slayers, like that's game every time. People are playing Metal Tronus too, and Droplet and Talents and things like that. Because like in theory, Talents like breaks the whole Ryzeal Fiendsmith board, like in theory, because they go like they go effect to take, they take your detonator, they just beat over Caesar, or you go effect pop with twins, and then they just take Caesar and go Caesar negate twins. But it almost never works out like that, just because if you just have an imperm for Caesar, you do get your detonator back. And for them to be in that position, if you are already playing around Talents, they have to beat, like assuming you have this over Judgment, they have to beat a Strike and a cross negate, assuming you're playing around Talents. So, and this is just way more versatile than Judgment, because I had many games in the mirror where I just had Judgment set, and it had to just rest for so long before it would trade with Engine. Whereas I had a lot of games where and then a lot of games they would chain a Bestial and Judgment wouldn't affect it. But you can strike a Bestial from hand with this. You could have it set and go for game, protect yourself for Nib. It's good against every deck. Yeah, this is like by far the best non-engine. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what it is, yeah.
Perfect.
Or going first on it.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want to say before we close, or?
I'm a little disappointed I didn't get further in the tournament, but
oh man, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all
right.
man.
Yeah. We'll try to run it back.
There's always next time.
Yeah, we'll get you back at Houston for sure. But...
Gotcha. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing left, this is gonna be White Horse signing out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.